Hello, wrestling fans! Welcome to SICW All-Star Wrestling. I'm Drew Adams here with Lucky P. Larson Esquire, who
still manages the SICW Classic Wrestling Champion, the Walking Mountain, Kowalski.
Speaking of Kowalski, he will be in action today. We have your main event is going to be Big Nasty Glenn Williams taking on Jason Breed. This will be a non-title match at Glenn's insistence.
Oh, Breed doesn't deserve one.
Plus,
Did he ever beat?
as I already mentioned, Kowalski will be in action. Billy McNeil
What a
and
treat
Curtis
for
Wiley,
you.
our tag team champions, will feature in action. Gary Jackson will take on Peyton.
Yeah!
We'll also hear words from Devastation Incorporated. Ladies and gentlemen, let's head straight to the ring for your first match. Ladies and gentlemen, our opening contest.
Hello, wrestling fans, and once again, we're coming to you from SICW, where each and every Sunday night we would just want to report we had a little audio technical difficulty, so we're making do just so we can bring this match to you. And the big man, the champion, 450-pound Kowalski, there you see him, and of course, Lucky P. Larson Esquire, his manager. Always proud, always the gentleman never lost for words. And this match right here, he's going up against the masked man Waco, kind of an unorthodox matching up here. These two have been known to break the rules, but you see Waco going down on his knees and tries to get between him. But like I said, Kowalski, 450 pounds of just pure meanness. And now he just sits on his back and just uses those big right arm, a big clobber. Now just steps on his neck. Referee Nick Rednire will keep his distance from Kowalski because he's been known to tell the referees he'll do what he wants to do. Oh, a big knee lift by Kowalski. And fans, don't forget, Saturday, March the 1st, we return to the Belle Claire Fairgrounds, and we're really excited about that because representatives from the Worldwide Technology Raceway will be on hand with tickets for the special races that are going to be coming up out there at Worldwide Technology. For those of you who followed us, saw Mr. Chris Blair from the Raceway was at our show back in Belleville, and of course, we had a little interesting situation take place there between him and Big Nasty Glenn Williams with the cake in the face. So you want to make sure you join us on Saturday, March the 1st. As you see Kowalski just easily working on Waco. Now puts that big boot right to the chest. Of course, as he holds onto that top rope, and you see Lucky P out at ringside shouting instructions and punish him. And now he scoops him up and drops him down. Big body slam. And just methodically taking his time at him, I'll tell you. And now he jumps down on him. And now just picks him back up. Got him in the corner now, and there you see referee telling him, let the man out. Well, he brings him out the hard way, tosses him across, and comes charging in with that big Kowalski splash. And there you see Waco, face first, right down on the canvas. Now, grabs those arms. Uh-oh, this is usually he's setting him up. He pulls him back towards that middle of the ring, just enough to where he can step over on him, and now he goes up. And this is when he's going to deliver all 450 pounds down and right on Waco. Referee goes in for the count. 1, 2, 3. And just that quick, Kowalski, the champion, is victorious. And you'll see Nick Rednire raising his hands. Fans, let's go right now with an interview from the popular Jason Breed.
Wrestling fans, I am here with the man himself, Jason Breed. Mr. Breed, I know you've been having some recent troubles with Glenn Williams. Specifically, it's awful tricky to get a title shot against the Central States champion.
Well, I can say a lot of things about Glenn.
Please do.
I won't say that he's stupid, though. He knows better than to put that title on the line. He knows when to put the title on the line and when not to put the title on the line. And he's going to continue to duck me without putting that title on the line as long as he possibly can. But tonight, get a shot at him. Of course, it's a non-title, but I do get a shot. And if I beat him tonight, he's no longer going to say, well, I don't have to defend it from him. Since he's ran through everybody else, he can run.
Absolutely. Well, Jason, good luck to you. It's a big match, and I'm not going to say I hope you win, but I kind of do.
Well, I'm going to slap some other breed in. So you guarantee that.
Also, you gotta have eyes in the back of your head.
Yeah, he got his little funky Vincent floating around. You know, the little Canadian destroyer Munchkin is always floating around somewhere.
It's somebody you're very familiar with.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with Vincent. I've known Vincent for a long, long time. I know a lot about him. I know his ins, I know his outs. I know what he thinks. I know what he eats. How much he eats. You can tell he eats a lot. But I digress. So with him on the outside, I always had to keep my eyes on him. I always had to keep my eyes with Big Nasty. Then I have Vincent. And then Trent Williams is out in the back somewhere. You never know when he might pop up. So yeah, it's a big night. I plan on having it pretty good.
Absolutely. Well, fans, stay tuned. Jason Breed, good luck against Glenn
Thanks,
Williams. Fans, we got to take a commercial break, and when we return, we'll do your tag team champions match.
SICW presents FanFest 3, St. Louis, May 16th and 17th. Hilton, St. Louis Airport, the Keena Cola, Missy Hyatt, Gangrel, Teddy Long and Mac Davis, Tito Santana, and Bill Apter. More to come. SICW FanFest 3. For more info, SICW.org.
Wrestling fans, we've been talking about the tag team combination of SICW All-Star Wrestling and Benny's Pizza in Belleville, Illinois. That big date, February the 22nd at Benny's Pizza. And I am so happy and excited that the master of ceremony is going to be here. And if you don't know who this guy is, you've been living under a rock, because I've got right here next to me Pizza Babble. How did you get away from all the social media coverage that you're getting?
Well, I heard about a pizza eating contest, and I came running.
Well, go figure. The man who's traveling all over the Midwest telling you where the best pizza is. And you know, on February the 22nd, I bet the best pizza is going to be at Benny's.
That's right. It's going to be a battle of the giants.
Woo, big giants. We're talking about Kowalski, 450 plus pounds. The big Texan, tipping that scale probably right around that 400 mark. And of course, Belleville's own Little Bobby D is going to be in that contest. February 22nd at Benny's Pizzeria on East Main Street in Belleville, Illinois, 5 o'clock p.m. You don't want to miss this one. Just keep following the Pizza Babble. Well, fans, the SICW Tag Team title match right here, the champions, Billy McNeil. And when you talk about somebody being popular with the fans, it's Billy McNeil and Curtis Wild. And of course, when you see Curtis Wild, you see Wildfire. The titles right here being defended on SICW Championship Wrestling. And I'll tell you what, the team that's going against them right here is a team you want to keep your eye on. Kalen Thomas and Jaquan Wright. And I'm telling you, these two young men, graduates of the Ace Wrestling Academy, yes, that's right, Cowboy Bob Orton Jr. They graduated from the Wrestling Academy, and right here tonight, they got a chance to say, we are making our mark in the professional wrestling business. As you see, Curtis and Billy McNeil, they are your champions. But like I said, you want to definitely keep your eye on this new team of Kalen and Jaquan. And it's going to be a great match here on your TV as you see the referee showing off those tag team title belts, the SICW Championship. Who's it going to be to start off here? It looks like it's going to be the Wild one himself, Curtis Wild. And now let's see how this one starts off. And of course, I should know it's going to be the studio audience with that "Let's Get Wild, Let's Get Wild" chant that has became so popular over the last couple of years. Curtis locks up with the newcomer, as we'll call him, backs him into the corner. Referee calls for the break. Curtis slowly backing out. He's got to kind of measure up the odds here with Kalen Thomas and Jaquan Wright. don't quite know what they're capable of doing, but there you see Curtis say, hey, I can do a little maneuvering here in the ring also. Once again, now Curtis backs him in. Kalen Thomas backed into that corner. And again, comes out. Curtis was letting it come out, but now he comes right out with a big forearm, a second one. Man, a couple of fists right to the head is now Curtis Wild back into the corner. And it's Curtis being tossed into the corner, and Kalen Thomas goes right in, grabs him and whips him all the way across, but no, Curtis catches him coming out of there. And now these young men may say, wait a minute, that's why they're the champions over there. We're going to have to watch out here. Curtis whips him off the rope, takes him down with that big spear that he does so well. And just think this match is just starting. We haven't even saw Billy McNeil in there yet. Now, ask and you shall receive. And Billy McNeil comes off that middle rope right down on that arm that Curtis was holding out of Kalen Thomas. Now, Thomas goes over and makes the tag with Jaquan Wright. Oh, well, they're showing that they can function as a tag team here. Billy McNeil in the wrong corner. They whip him off the rope, catches him with that reverse elbow. Fans, don't forget Saturday, March the 1st. Oh, look at this. Oh, man, he brings both of those knees. I've seen him do that before. Right into the rib cage. Knocked Billy McNeil out of the ring. Just that quick, Billy McNeil. Now, look at that nice leg takedown. I'm telling you, you have to watch the team of Kalen Thomas and Jaquan Wright. These young men are going to be a force to be reckoned with in SICW. Tags made. Curtis Wild comes back in. Oh, he takes him down. He goes for the cover. Count of 1, 2, 3. And just like that, the champions are victorious. Fans, don't go away. We're going to hear some words from the champion, Kowalski.
Your champions retaining their titles today. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with your classic wrestling champion, Kowalski, and of course, his manager, Lucky P. Larson. Lucky, let's talk about a few things. First of all,
you want to talk about how he just ran through one of your supposed tough guys? How it took him, 10 seconds, didn't even break a sweat? Broke Waco in half?
That isn't it, but congratulations on the win. We are here to talk about your recent title defense in Belleville, Illinois against the Silverback Big Joe Helms. Of course, you interfered. You do that all the time. That's no surprise. But you got the job done. Kowalski remains the classic champion.
First of all, Big Joe Helms brought it on himself. Big Joe Helms put his hands on me. You know what? You get what's coming to you. What comes around goes around. And in your case, what comes around is a walking mountain crushing you under his feet. You can't beat this man. You've tried and tried and tried and lost and lost and lost. Go back to the drawing board because you can't beat this man.
Well, here's another question, and I actually don't have any ideas for your motivation. It was the Central States title, no disqualification match, Bobby D challenging Big Nasty Glenn Williams, when out of nowhere, out comes Kowalski, hits Bobby D with a huge splash, puts Glenn on top. Glenn retains the Central States title. What's the motivation? Why did you insert yourselves into that match?
Not that I owe you or any of these stupid people an explanation, but since I started the move, I will tell you two things. One, we broke no rules. No disqualification, no rules. He did nothing wrong. Number two, we have very long memories. This man is a Triple Crown champion in SICW. Central States champion, tag team champion, and your current reigning, defending, never-ending classic wrestling champion. Bobby D, we haven't forgotten. how you stole that Central States title from Kowalski. Yeah, it may have been a while ago. You probably forgot. Lucky P never forgets.
Go home. Like an elephant.
You want to say that again? You want to take a look to your left and remember? Yeah, that's right. And remember the man that I got coming out here on my right? You want to insult me? You want to?
There's no one on your right, ding dong.
You want to insult me again? Yeah. I hope your life insurance is paid up there, bald boy.
I hope you're alive.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, time to head to the ring as the AIWF National Heavyweight Championship is on the line.
Well, fans, when we talk about SICW brings you the best in professional wrestling, it's right here. This match for the AIWF International Championship, and of course that champion, our own Night Train, Gary Jackson, defending it here against a member of Devastation Incorporated, the big man himself, Peyton Ayers. And when we talk about the big men come to SICW, Peyton Ayers is right up there on the top of that list. And of course, at ringside, the manager, the professional owner, whatever he may be, the mentor, Stephen E., who those of you who've been following us for the last couple of years know what he is capable of doing. And of course, also at ringside in the red and black get up there, Lilith Khan, the daughter or the spawn of Khan, talking about Attila Khan, who's been missing in action since back in November when at Devastation Incorporated kind of got their behinds handed to her by the All-American team of the Night Train, Gary Jackson, Ron Powers, and Danny Boy in that big match over who would have control of SICW. And here we are in 2025, and we're still bringing you the best in professional wrestling. And it's Gary Jackson. Now, he's got to have that head on a swivel in a match like this. But right now, he's got to really focus on Peyton Ayers. This is for the AIWF. We are proud to be a member of that organization, a long-time organization. It's in, I forgot right now how many different countries they represented. And right here, we are their local affiliate. And we're proud to wave that banner each and every match, especially when we have one of our own defending any type of championship. But I tell you what, I would not be happy if something went wrong in this match and that AIWF International Championship belt got in the hands of the likes of a Devastation Incorporated. Peyton Ayers tosses Jackson's head right into that top turnbuckle. Fans, let's talk a minute about what's going to take place coming up in May of this year, May 16th and 17th. You've heard it. You've been seeing posts about it. The big Fan Fest 3 taking place at the Hilton at the St. Louis Airport. What a weekend that is going to be. It is going to be filled with legends from Kevin Von Erich, Abdullah the Butcher, Tito Santana, Dr. D. David Schultz, the Rock and Roll Express, Stan the Beast Severin, and that list is just growing daily. And again, that Friday night, May the 16th, our good friend Bill Apter will be there, and he'll be doing a question and answer session with some of the young legends that come in. Greg the Hammer Valentine is on that list. He's being inducted into the St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame for the class of 2025. So you could go to SICW.org, get your tickets, book your hotel room, and come on out to Fan Fest 3. That's right, third year in a row that we have been bringing the best in professional wrestling and the memories of wrestling at the Chase. Don't forget, we'll be celebrating that right there at the Hilton at the St. Louis Airport. So you get Friday night, you get the Bill Apter question and answer, 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. The Fan Fest will open up. You'll get to come in and meet the legends, get autographs, get your pictures at 5 o'clock on Saturday. Oh, Stephen E., there's two big right hands delivered to Jackson. But he'll tell you, he don't interfere. He was just trying to help you. But that Friday evening on May 17th, the St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame will take place. Butch Reed, the late Butch Reed, will be inducted in. The late Jerry Crusher Blackwell is being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Ivan Koloff, Nikita Koloff will be with us. He'll be accepting the award for Ivan Koloff. So, and then after the St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame induction, the Bruiser Brody Memorial, that big wrestling card highlighted by the Bruiser Brody Battle Royal, will take place. And as you know, for those of you who each and every year have joined us, that's the Bruiser Brody, Larry Madison, and Tony Costa Memorial. Yes, that's right. We honor all three of those individuals each and every year. And some people say, well, why all three of them? Well, all three of them are real close to myself and to SICW. Bruiser Brody, of course, Larry Madison, my dear late friend, and of course Tony Costa, who we put a lot of road miles on my 1977 Lincoln, traveling all over the Midwest. Was a dear friend, and so with the approval of our dear friend Barbara Goodish, the widow of Bruiser Brody, each year that we have lost one of them, we've added them to that memorial because Bruiser Brody was close to both of those individuals. So what better way to keep their memories and their legacy alive and have them a part of a big show like we do with the SICW Fan Fest. And I'm proud to say, we've got shows coming up. We're going back to the World Fight Technology Raceway. Just recently, later in the year, in June, we'll be going to Shawneetown, Illinois, and just booked for that card is none other than Tommy Wildfire Rich. And I'm going to tell you, if you want to see an old-fashioned Shawneetown street fight, you're going to see that on a Friday night, June 6th in Shawneetown, Illinois. That's right. And Tommy Wildfire Rich will be in action. And I'm going to tell you, we'll be announcing in the next couple of weeks on who his opponent is going to be. And when I talk about a old Shawneetown street fight, that's what you're going to be. You're going to want to be in Shawneetown, Illinois on Friday night, June the 6th, during their week-long Cold Days festivity. I've been there a couple of years now. We've had the likes of Jimmy Hart, Tony Atlas, Cowboy Bob Orton down there for him. But this year, Tommy Wildfire Rich, one of the men that made Evansville, Indiana wrestling so popular with the likes of Jerry the King Lawler and Jimmy Hart and Dutch Mantel, that list goes on and on. They're coming across that state line into Shawneetown, Illinois for the old-fashioned Shawneetown street fight. But right now, we got a fight going on here. Peyton Ayers working on the AIWF International Champion, and he's got Jackson down to his knee, and you see Stephen E. out there beating on the ring apron, telling him to punish him. And now Stephen E. going into the ring, and now Peyton Ayers backing the referee up into the corner, and now Peyton Ayers continues to work on Gary Jackson. I'm not sure what the outcome of this is. I'm trying to get a decision here, but he continues to work on the Night Train. But Stephen E. is in the ring, Lois Khan on the ring apron. And Peyton Ayers appears to have been victorious here. Fans, don't go away. Let's get we'll get a confirmation on this, but let's go to ringside and get an interview from Devastation Incorporated.
That's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, you saw it. Devastation Incorporated with new goals. I thought the national title was going to be the reason you're here, but willingly, Getting yourself disqualified, dishing out punishment was more important than a title.
Dr. Drew, they are not happy. They are not happy with what happened on November 23rd. Everybody out here knows that I'm supposed to be the owner of SICW. I'm the one that was going to take it to new heights. But look what happened. Everybody saw it. It was devastating, of course, and it was devastating to me. My investors were so upset with me. I had to go and do some damage control. I had to talk to them. It took months to explain to them that I underestimated not Herb Simmons, but I underestimated each and every one of you fans, because you fans were in his ear. Had you not been there, SICW would be mine. Herb Simmons just celebrated 52 years. 52 years of promoting. Well, guess what? I wanted to start and end his promoting at 52. And I want to start mine. And if you're smart, you can look at it, you can look at who's out here, and you wonder what's missing. Attilacon's not here. You want to know why Attilacon's not here? Because I sent him back to Mongolia. He's training. He's training in the mountains of Mongolia. Because guess what? March 1st, he returns. He returns.
Belleville, Illinois.
Belleville, Illinois. And everybody is on notice. You saw what we did to the night train Gary Jackson. Wait until Attilacon gets here. There's going to be hell to pay. And Herb Simmons, this is far from over, my friend. This is far from over. When Devastation Inc. wants something, if they don't sell it to us, we're going to take it. And this is far from over. My investors are not happy, but they are patient. They understand that Rome wasn't built in a day. And when it's all over and done with, Dr. Drew, I will own SICW.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, one more reason to be in Belleville March the 1st. What will I don't want to say reborn Attilacon have in mind?
You know what? You're going to have to show up. Buy a ticket and show up to see the training that Attilacon has been through. You know, he was already brutal. Some say the most dangerous wrestler on God's green earth. Well, I've been in contact with him, and you're going to be very surprised. Show up March 1st at Belleville, Belclair Fairgrounds, and you're going to see exactly why he is Attilacon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Let his daughter talk.
She doesn't talk.
Hey everybody, What Were They Thinking is proud to be a part of the show with Herb Simmons at SICW.
Show some enthusiasm, Joe. Put on a damn bow tie. We got Herb Simmons. We got the Kill Arena. We got St. Louis, where Mr. Briscoe is in the Hall of Fame. What Were They Thinking? It's available on Backstage Pass. Sports Kita's our buddies. We talk about the wildest, the craziest, the dumbest, the insane moments in wrestling history that I'm proud to be a part of, because Mr. Briscoe, you're the one that hired me.
And I don't know what I was thinking when I did that, John.
That's not nice. Not nice at all. We love Herb Simmons, and Herb Simmons, you have been there forever. Mr. Briscoe thinks you might be 1,000. I don't think you're a day over 900. We love St. Louis. What were they thinking? Backstage Pass.
All right, wrestling fans, we are back, and it is time to take a trip to this week's Promoter's Court.
Fans, let's go now to a match where Ray Matysek is calling the action and watch Nikolai Volkov and Al Perez in action.
Weighing 319 pounds from Russia, Nikolai Volkov, referee Ed Warren.
How would you like to be in Al Perez's shoe right now? Al Perez, a sparkling young athlete. Tremendous future in this business Al Perez has, and a tremendous, really right now that he has. He fights back against Volkov. Volkov and Perez landing some forearms. Perez can wrestle. He proved that as he was a Florida State high school champion. He has tremendous amateur background, and nobody's going to be pushed around. He fights back against Volkov. If Perez could knock off Volkov here, what a feather in his cap it would be, because, of course, next Saturday night, it's Volkov against King Kong Brody. Brody is back at Kiel Auditorium. Next Saturday, Volkov would love to nail Brody with a knee like that, as he just did Perez. But remember, this time there's something different. 2 referees. 1 referee in the ring, One referee outside the ring. Two referees for Brody and Volkov. The last time they met, September 17th, Professor Tanaka, who's a close ally of Volkov's, got himself involved. And, of course, Spike Huber, who has a tremendous friendship with King Kong Brody, felt he had to get himself involved. The whole thing really ended up in chaos at his qualification. Brody and Volkov don't need any help. And that's what that second referee is there going to be there to make sure of. Brody and Volkov next Saturday. Huber has his own hands full against the fabulous Freebird, Terry Gordy. And that's going to be a tremendous match. Everybody in the wrestling world will have their eyes on St. Louis next Saturday night, because Volkov against Brody with two referees. Spike Huber against the Freebird, Terry Gordy. Can Huber keep things rolling? Can Gordy keep his momentum going? Plus, Murdoch and his teacher, Killer Carl Cox, who might even bring Alex along so Mickey can talk to him, against Cowboy Scott Casey and Jerry Oates. And Oates and Murdoch have no love lost for one another either. Ed Warren balling out Nikolai Volkov for the battery that Volkov was dishing out to Perez in the corner. Volkov with a kick to the head of Al Perez. Perez has his hands full, but I believe he's more than capable of making Nikolai Volkov battered, bruised, and maybe beaten. Perez knocked down to one knee. Volkov grabs Perez and pitches him out of the ring right down to the cement floor of the Arena Sports Studio. Jam-packed once again. Volkov raising his hands in triumph as Perez tries to regain his bearings. There he is. Look at that chest. Look at the neck on that man. Former member of the Russian Olympic weightlifting team. He stomps Perez and knocks him right off the apron. The man who maybe has proven that King Kong Brody is not indestructible. He can certainly prove it. He can etch it in concrete next Saturday night. Brody and Volkov, Kiel Auditorium, in the site of many great matches over the years. Many tremendous, hot, blazing feuds have been settled right in that ring. And Brody and Volkov are going to try to settle it next Saturday. Volkov yells, USA, huh? Perez, oh, he drives that shoulder right into the solar plexus of Volkov. Alex Perez, Al Perez, pounding on Volkov, driving Volkov to the corner. Volkov slammed to the corner, but then he has the presence of mind to bring that big boot up into the chest of Perez. Volkov, another kick to the head. Volkov comes off the ropes and stomps on the back of Al Perez. Nikolai Volkov standing on the throat and on the chest of Al Perez. 320 pounds. He's bigger than Brody. Think of that. Brody's going to give away almost 40 pounds to this man when they step into the ring. Brody's a bit taller, but I think Volkov's a bit wider, if that seems possible. It's hard to believe, knowing King Kong Brody, that anybody could be wider than he is. Volkov with a headbutt into the neck of Al Perez.
I think the hair on Brody makes him look bigger because this guy here has got a crew cut here. Volkov.
They do have different barbers.
Yeah, I believe so.
My buddy Tama in Fairview Heights. Somebody else was going to one of your barbers. I don't think Brody's been a barber for some time. But that's his style. That's Brody. One of a kind. Non-conformist, sure. Want to call him a rebel? Go ahead and call him a rebel. He's proud of it. With good reason. And from everything I know about King Kong Brody is that man stands tall under any kind of pressure, in any kind of situation. He doesn't back down. And he's under all the pressure in the world next Saturday night against Volkov. He'll be back from Japan tomorrow. He's going to sit at home down in South Texas all week and think about Volkov.
Five minutes have expired, 5 minutes left.
Volkov pounding on the back of muscular Al Perez. Volkov with a forearm smash. That's like a sledgehammer coming home. Perez reaching inside that cross arm grip. I think Volkov realized Perez had an idea there. Perez fighting back. A fiery Floridan clamps on the side headlock. Volkov whips him to the ropes.
Oh.
Flying tackle. Volkov stands his ground. Perez drop kick. Volkov knocked to the ropes. Perez comes flying again. Crossbody. Volkov caught him. Volkov caught him. Backbreaker. Cradle. Nikolai Volkov caught Perez in midair and covers him with a cradle after the backbreaker. Well, there's that power. Perez with a flying cross body block. And Volkov somehow caught him in the
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you saw it. That was this week's Promoter's Corner. We have to take one final commercial break, and we will be right back with your main event as Jason Breed takes on Big Nasty Glenn Williams.
Hello, SICW fans. Herb Simmons, and we're talking about Saturday night, February the 22nd. Don't forget, come down to Benny's Pizza in Belleville, Illinois. Benny, give him that address.
Hey, it's 113 East Main Street in downtown Belleville.
And you heard it right there. We're tag teaming. Couldn't think of a better tag team partner than Benny's. And we're going to have a pizza eating contest. Kowalski, 450 pounds. He's going to be here. The big Texan coming in from Texas, I bet, just to get some of that Benny's Pizza. And Belleville's own Bobby D. Mark it down. We'll see you Saturday night, February 22nd, Belleville, Illinois, at Benny's Pizza. Well, fans, here we go. A non-title match right here on Sunday night. The champion, the Central States champion, Glenn Williams, with his mentor, his confidant, your Canadian hero. Some of you call him the Canadian Zero, Sean Vincent. As you know, Glenn Williams has got this kind of squirrely stipulation that he only will defend that title one time a month. And so this is a non-title match here against Jason Breed, the popular Jason Breed. And of course, this is going to be a very interesting match, because if anybody's capable of taking that title away from Big Nasty Glenn Williams, it's Jason Breed. But Big Nasty Glenn Williams, a guy who just kind of gets underneath your skin. You can ask Chris Blair from Worldwide Technology Raceway about that, what took place last month. And Glenn Williams is here tonight. As you can see, he wants to take his time. He wants to do things at his own pace. And the referee takes the belt, shows it. And now we're going to see what he can do against the popular Jason Breed. And there you see a little hug between both Sean Vincent and the SICW Classic champion, Central States champion, I'm sorry. Now both men kind of just watching each other. They've had some matches before, and right there, Glenn Williams ends up on the canvas, and he'll have an excuse. Oh, I tripped, or there was a slippery spot on the canvas, but he won't admit that Jason Breed just tossed him on his behind there. And fans, again, mark that date. We're just a little bit away from Saturday night, March the 1st, at the Belclair Fairgrounds in Belleville, Illinois, where we return with the best in professional wrestling. That's right. When we talk about the best, they talk about SICW across the country. And you can see why right here when we bring you a match of this caliber right here. Big Nasty Glenn Williams reverses, comes up with a side headlock. And Jason Breed going to try to power his way out of this. Of course, switches over to the other side, back and forth, and now a nice go behind. Comes up with a reverse arm bar. And about this time, Glenn Williams is saying, whoa, wait a minute. Slow down. And now a nice hip toss headlock. Both men on the canvas, but Jason Breed with the advantage. Fans, we talked a little bit earlier about some of the shows we're going to. March the 29th, I-9 Shriners Temple in East St. Louis, Illinois. Whoa, Breed off of the rope, shoulder tackle. Williams finds himself on the canvas and outside the ring. As right now, he said, I got to take a little stroll here. I underestimated Jason Breed, and there, Sean Vincent telling him, calm down, it's going to be okay, you got this. Referee starting to count on him. And Jason Breed said, no, come on, I don't want to win that way, I want to get him in here. Of course, no love lost between Jason Breed and Sean Vincent. Of course, you see Sean doing what he does the best, and he's distracting people and giving Williams the advantage. Now, Williams delivering those big right punches to the side of the jaw, to the head. whips it from one side to the other, but Jason Breed goes up and over, comes down, and a drop kick knocks Glenn Williams down to the canvas. As fans march to 29th on Saturday night. East St. Louis, Illinois. This is our third or fourth event going to that beautiful iodine Shriners Temple, and what a great job our Shriners do. You've got to come out and support them. They are an organization that is there to help. We are so glad to be part of that. Oh, that big single leg kick. And Williams finds himself on the canvas, but there, Sean Vincent reached in and broke that up. I don't believe the referee saw that, but boy, I tell you, Jason Breed sure knew he did it. But that Saturday night, March the 29th, at the Shriners Temple, 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Come on out and be a part of all the big action. It's right there at 609 St. Louis Avenue. I was born right down the street from there in the housing projects. And we're wrestling just a little bit from there. Started off at the old social center in East St. Louis. I tell you, a lot of the greats, Luthez, Pat O'Connor, Cowboy Bob Ellis, wrestled right there at the old social center on Summit Avenue. It's not too far from where the Iodine Shriners Temple is and where we'll be Saturday night, March the 29th. We already have a ladies match. Lilith Kahn will be in action against Kelsey Magnolia. Last year when we were there, they were on the same side and in a tag match. And of course, for those of you who were there, know that Lilith Kahn basically controlled that entire match against the young twin ladies that we had come in. And then she turned on Kelsey Magnolia, and all heck broke out. And so Kelsey Magnolia says, I want Lilith Kahn on Saturday, March the 29th. And that's what you'll see there. Gary Graham will be there for Mid-States Championship Wrestling will be joining us. Kevin Kowalski got into it last year. So who knows what's going to happen on Saturday night, March the 29th, when SICW and the Shriners team up once again for the fundraiser. Right now, Glenn Williams has the advantage over Jason Breed. But fans, we're going to be going to Fairmont City, Illinois later this year. It's always great to go back to these organizations year after year and assist them with their fundraisers. It just goes to show you that SICW comes in and delivers for them. And don't forget Worldwide Technology Raceway. We are so honored and so thankful to take part of racing and wrestling. Ruckus on the Midway. I was told the other day that they actually won an award last year for the best midway, and we were part of it. So we were really honored to be part of that. Oh, Jason Breed now takes him down. He's going for that arm bar. And now there you see Sean Vincent comes in and breaks it up. Referee calls for the bell, and they continue to work on Jason Breed. Now the referee gets shoved in the corner. Sean Vincent, Glenn Williams working on Jason Breed. Jason Breed had Glenn Williams down with that arm hold that he went so many matches by, but now they're working on, look at him, putting the boots in. But here, look at the Big Texan comes in, and now they're working on the Big Texan. These guys are just working on, uh-oh, but wait a minute, they may have bit off more than they can chew right here. The Big Texan, comes off the rope, and now from the other side, but a double lariat, double clothesline, takes him down. Fans, let's go to ringside and let's get some words from the Big Texan.
This is what we see. First, we have to believe we will have a there. Big Nasty, we're taking it to Jason Breed. You made a mistake nailing these clowns with a double lariat. And as I mentioned, if that happens March the 1st, I have to believe we will have a new Central States champion.
Glenn Williams, this is just a sample of the whooping you're going to get on the 1st. Vincent, I hope you're in the ring too, because you'll get the same whooping that I gave your little buddy. That Central State title, that will be mine.
Indians. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of time for today. For Lucky P. Larson, for Big Tex and Tex, good job on the save. Fans, we will see you right here next week on SICW All-Star Wrestling.